and welcome to Wellness Series with Lucia. I am so excited about today's episode. It's just bringing the young girl out in me. Well, I'm your host. My name is Lucia Malabati, and today we're discussing teenagehood. In studio, I'm joined by two cool teenagers, Lifika and Dali, and also a cool mom whom you are very familiar with. Today I'm not going to refer to her with the title that you know. So I'm joined by Mom Stella today. Well, you know her as Dr. Stella. Now, as parents, we understand the challenges and the ups and downs and the beauty, I must add, of teenagehood. The aim is for us as adults to understand what our children go through, and also for children to understand what we go through and why sometimes we fuss like we do, as they say. Welcome, guys. And can I do I'm cool like that. I'm cool like that. So, guys, on a serious note, I'm really excited about today's show because I wish I had this in my when I was a teenager, So I'm excited for us to be impacting this on you guys, and we're really looking forward to understand what teenagehood it looks like nowadays. So let's start with the girl child.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Tell us about teenagehood nowadays. What are some of the exciting stuff about being a young lady in your teens and some of the challenges that you go through?
Okay, for me personally, what I've experienced with my friends, nowadays we just like to get dressed. It's all about getting makeup done and going out to parties. Well, once schoolwork is done some of the time.
Okay.
And challenges, I feel like with the whole beauty thing, you have to be a certain way, you have to be slim, and you have to look up to date on Instagram. So I feel like every girl's trying to reach that stage. Sometimes peer pressure can be bad and it leads to depression, and it's pretty suicidal with what's been happening lately. So those are the challenges that have been happening lately.
Where's that pressure coming from? Is it coming from the fact that you guys have the world in your hands now, as in social media? You mentioned Instagram. Or where is it coming from?
I feel like it is Instagram, especially those that can't afford what the Instagram models can. So when I have this whole pressure that they can't meet up to those standards. So it comes from Instagram. When they do plastic surgeries, so when I talk about Jima, or hey, I have to get this flat tongue, it's just a whole lot. I feel like that's the main challenge for us now. Yeah. We're just trying to meet up to those standards.
And at what age? At what age do we have that? Is it as young as 18, or is it as old as 19? Where in the teenagehood phase do we start feeling that pressure?
Nowadays, lately, I realize it can be as early as 13 years. 13 years.
Yeah.
As soon as you're 13, you have to be following the trends.
You need lipstick. You need
everything. Mama, Papa.
Everything. Yeah. Do you think to some extent maybe confidence, self-esteem issues?
Yeah. You just want to lift them up.
Yeah.
And if you're natural, people might not even like the way you look naturally. So you have to fly. I have to plait my natural hair.
Yeah. That's when it becomes important to be self-aware of who you are. Yeah. Boy, child. How is it nowadays? I know back then it was all about hip hop. During my time, it was about hip hop and there was a little bit of kwaito in there. So how is it nowadays?
I would say that it's different, whereby a lot of kids want to be like other artists out there. People making music, fashion is there. There's all sorts of going on, people writing poems, and there are others that want to rap to songs. So probably I would say that it's different from your generation. Now that we're in a new generation. So I could say that there's some kids out there that are making it in life through their music. If I can make an example of a kid that I know so far who has gone all the way to Cape Town because somebody here recognizes music.
Okay.
So now he's all the way in Cape Town, and he inspired us that we can make it.
Is he still a teenager?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
He's 18.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. He's still a teenager.
Yeah.
But do you as a boy teen, do you feel the pressure? Is it similar to the girl child? How is it with you guys? Do you also look at those models, all those young artists, and feel the pressure, looks or success? How is it with you guys?
Yes, it's still the same
Mm.
with girls as well.
Mm.
You know, you see a lot going on, like there's also social media.
Mm.
And now that I became a model,
Mm.
and everybody else wants to be out there, you know.
Yeah.
For example, I became a model because I looked at a lot of male models out there, and I wanted
Okay.
to make a difference in Botswana, because not all males in
Mm.
Botswana
Mm.
want to be models.
Mm.
But this made me show that we are all different in a way, and we can have our own success
Yeah.
in a different way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So me knowing that I can make a difference in life,
Mm.
you know, when it comes to money and when it comes to everything else, just to show yourself out there,
Mm.
it actually helps you with also your self-esteem.
Yeah, yeah, and I like that you brought that point, because you saw those models probably on social media,
Yes.
but you used that for the betterment of you,
Yes.
you know. Whereas from the girl's child point of view now, it's almost as though they're under pressure
Yes.
to live to those standards in most cases. So what I'm getting from you is, you know what, we can still get some positive levels or energy or vibes from social media. Dr. Stella, coolest mom today. You used your experience as a mom, you know, you penned it down. Actually, let me put this down here. To these two books, and I talk about them all the time because I think this is what our kids need, and I wish even us during our time we could have had something like this. Before we get to this, just tell us about your experience as a mom to teenagers and what inspired you ultimately to pen it down.
Okay, thank you, Lucia. And you know, just from Dali and Lefika's conversation, our teens, you know, and this is our teens. We really start at around age 10.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the medical teenhood is 13. You know, that teen at the end of the 13.
Mm-hmm.
But we do this. They see our children, you know, becoming teens at the age of 10, some even earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, they are our children. And as young mothers, we are obviously different from our mothers.
Yes.
You know, we are working parents, we are out there chasing the dream, and many times our children are just alone, or they get to learn about life from friends, they get to learn about life from social media.
Yes.
Because now we do have social media, we have TikTok, we have Facebook, we have Instagram.
We have everything.
We have everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, as a mother, I am a mother to a teenage girl and a teen boy. And as I was coming through today, they were saying to me, you know, when you can't go and talk about teens and you are dressed like you're going to a wedding, put on jeans. I'm like, no, there has to be a line somewhere.
Yeah.
There has to be a mother, you know, a parent,
Mm-hmm.
and there has to be a teen, there has to be a child. So we need that line, you know. And sometimes when we act as mothers, you know, we are not their fans. They don't like what we do as
we become
parents.
the least favorite people.
We become the least favorite people.
Yeah.
But, you know, experience, not just from being a mom, experience from working with young people. I used to work for the university, and just experience as a doctor when you get to see, you know, young people come through to the clinic. They go through a lot. Peer pressure from school, there's a lot going out there. We as parents, we want them to go through, you know, the academics, we want them to get their A star. Sometimes we don't recognize other talents that they have.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes.
whatever we come up with, as parents, we need to make sure that we are not just looking, you know, one-sided. We are looking at them as
In
these young
totality.
people
Yeah.
that we are trying to mold into adults. So
Yeah.
we need to look at both sides of the coin.
Yeah. So guys, how would you like us to, what role do you think as parents we can play to smoothen out the journey, you know, and for us, because like Dr. Stella is saying, sometimes we become your least favorite people because we don't maybe seem to understand each other. Because I know I've been there more protective, and you are just trying to really be free and have that freedom. Where do you think we can meet each other halfway?
Firstly, I've experienced with my mom. She was also very overprotective. But once she realized, oh, no, okay, my daughter's growing, she's going to experience everything. She just let me, as long as I tell her where I'm going, communication is key.
Yeah.
As long as I tell her where I'm going, what time, and actually stick to that time and come back home, I've actually learned to open up more to her and say, okay, no, I'm going there, coming back, and she eventually trusts me more.
Yes.
And then we build a relationship instead of just wanting to leave the house because mama's overprotective, she won't let me. So I feel like just opening up, getting communication, and yeah. So.
And that communication, from what I'm hearing you, is from both ways, from parents and also from you guys. So you also need to open up to us, and we also need to open up to you guys. Maybe even tell them our fears, Dr. Stella, as we communicate, so that they understand it's not like we're just being overprotective, but this is how we're feeling. Is that something that can help?
Yeah, that can help, because as I said, they are going through a different kind of lifestyle compared to what we went through. There's a lot of adults out there who are also out to sort of get them. There are adults that will sell drugs to them. There are adults who will exploit them sexually.
Yeah.
So as parents, when we communicate with our children, they get to trust us. He'll say, mommy, this teacher at school, he was touching me, or this combi driver touched me inappropriately. So when we communicate, we build that trust so that when our children are going through things, going through stuff, then they can come to us and say, you know what, man, this is what's happening, you know what, Daddy, this is what is happening. So she says communication is key, because now when things go really bad, then they always know that, friendship, it comes and goes.
Yeah, especially during your time,
yeah,
guys.
Whoever I knew at primary school, they are no longer my friends. People I knew from junior school, they are no longer my friends. So friends do come and go. Parents are here forever. So we need to have that communication.
Yeah. So guys, I want to put you on the spot. Who's the coolest, moms or dads?
Moms.
The two moms.
All right, darling, and I will come back to you with the same question. In terms of your well-being, as a teenager, because teenagerhood comes with different faces. You start speaking like, hello, Auntie Lucia, and then and then as we start feeling heebie-jeebies when we see guys, our feet become heavy to walk. We can all relate to that. Yeah. So what can be done? I know communication is one of the how we can really make sure that the journey becomes smoother. But what can be done to make it more smoother for you guys? From trying to be cool, from the changes that you go through, the emotions, and also planning for your future. What do you think we can do better as parents to make it better for you guys?
Well, parents do push us.
Okay.
That's so true. Parents do push us. They make us want to be a better person. And also, like Ifika said, communication. You want to go out, you want to have fun, but you know that you have to come home on a very strict time. Why parents decide to be very strict on us is that the outside world is not as before. It's not like your generation. In this new generation, it's way too different.
It's rough.
It's very rough, and it's not really good for us teenagers, because we go through rape, we go through drugs, we go through a lot, and also with
even just smoking, guys.
Yeah,
even just like smoking cigarette. I know it sounds simple because now since everyone is smoking, but that's where it starts. It's wrong, Yeah.
So looking at all these problems that everybody goes through, also depression. I have a friend who used to go through that, and he had done drugs, he did this and this because of his friends around him. And that was really bad. I would lie. This generation has shown that depression, anxiety, all these funny things coming into our life will destroy us in a way. And it will make us feel like we're alone and our parents not being there for us. We will feel like we're unloved by our parents. But the truth is we're actually loved by our parents.
Very loved.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the outside world has shown us that it can be really dangerous.
And the really the people that you can trust at that point is family. It's your parents.
Yes.
You
can't always be saying it's your friends because you never know. Once they're in your life, they always have a way of coming out. And that's what we've learned, that we always stick by our parents and not mostly by our friends. I've been friends with Lifika for over 11 years.
And you're still friends?
And we're still friends.
That's nice.
That's how strong our bond is. And we've made sure that it's never going to fade away. And that's how it is. And, you know, parents are always there for us.
But let me ask you, Lifika, maybe you can take this one. How do you choose your friends? Because you know, you guys have been friends for over a decade and it seems like you're a good influence to each other. But someone else out there, you know, they have toxic friends and they're probably not even aware that they're toxic. So what can you say to your peers out there in terms of choosing friends?
Choosing friends, it's a tough one. Sometimes I feel like it's hard to choose because those friends kind of get you out of the situation you're in at home. Maybe you're stressed. So they kind of take that sadness away from you. But for me, I choose my friends wisely. If I see you talk negatively about other people, I can't hang around you. Or you're just following trends just because you have no purpose or have no reason. I just unfriend you immediately because I know tomorrow when I finish school, I'm gonna go to university, I'm gonna meet more people, we're not gonna be together. So as long as we're especially balancing schoolwork and social life, as long as you know how to balance that, then we're good. So that's an important one. As long as your friends know how to balance schoolwork and fun time, then we can be friends.
Yeah, able to talk because some friends, when you are naughty and they're like, you're actually cool when you're actually naughty.
As long as you point that out, then that's a good friend.
Dr. Stella, can you wrap it up for us, you know, with Chic Clique and Guy Code? Personally, I think this is just a great initiative, and once again, you know, I'd like to say thank you for penning it down, because this speaks to parents. It also speaks to our teenagers as early as 10, like you said, just so they have an idea, you know. And I think, like what they've been saying, this can actually open up channels of communication between parents and children. So can you just wrap it up in conclusion, maybe wrap it up for us, taking us through briefly through the Chic Clique and the Guy Code.
Okay, thank you, Lucia. Just from what she's just discussed now, that I have what we call friends and frenemies. You know, frenemies are people who are within our lives, who are supposed to be our friends, and they are negative. You know, these are negative friends. They will get you to say, okay, can you get a picture of yourself, you figure, with no bra? You know, tomorrow they take that picture. You are thinking, I'm sharing this among my friends. You know, they're gonna take that. It gets to be shared on WhatsApp groups. It gets to be shared all over. So within, you know, these two books, I tried to answer some of the embarrassing questions that our children sometimes get to ask us as parents, or sometimes they don't even ask us the questions because they are also embarrassed, you know, to ask the questions. So I have put those questions, some of those questions together. I've put in some tips. It's not only just about, you know, puberty changes. Sometimes you get a young girl or a young guy who has been raised by a single mother, or a young lady being raised by a single father. You know, and obviously these are parents who are not the same sex as the kids. So at times they are not even able to answer some of the questions that the teens come up with. So in this book we discuss everything, you know, from puberty, from eating etiquette, when he takes out his girlfriend out, what does he do? Does he open a door for her? How does a gentleman behave? And not only that, we've been talking about drugs and alcohol. Sometimes it's difficult as a teenager. You want to be cool, So when somebody says, just try just one puff. Sometimes you want to give them a cool answer on why you can't try this. This is just one puff. Maybe I have asthma, I do get asthmatic attacks, I'm not going to try that. And you know that you don't want to try it because you're going to get addicted, but sometimes you just need those answers that will also make you look cool so that you can give it to your friends so that you are part of a group. And I also talk a little bit on issues of money management, issues of bullying, sexual issues. These are young people. If it's 18 and a half years and he meets with her, she's 17 and a half. In Botswana, when you sleep with somebody who is less than 18, it's statutory.
Yes.
And for them, they are there thinking, okay, I'm 17 years and 11 months, my boyfriend is 18 months, we are almost the same age. If anything happens, the young guy is going to go to jail because he's now regarded as an adult. So in this book, we just give them, those kind of tips. Not only that, we also talk about education. We talk about how we relate to our siblings, how we relate to our parents. And of course, the social media. How do I deal with social media? What kind of information that I give out there? Because there are papers out there, not only in Botswana. Social media has brought in the global world here. So how do I communicate? Who do I share my information with? How do I put in my address on Facebook? How do I get to communicate? So it's just a very broad,
it's holistic. I love your approach. You've holistically approached teenagehood in at Ego. All right. So in closing, guys, I know teenagehood can take us the whole day, but in closing, talking to your peers, what can you say to teen girls out there?
Love yourself.
Yeah.
Love yourself. Put yourself first. Don't put friends or anything else. Put yourself first and love yourself, because if you can't love yourself, nobody else will.
Yeah. Great advice. And to the guys out there?
The same thing as Lifika. Love yourself. Because also out there, you have your male friends that would want you guys to do some other things. But always put yourself first before other people. And always put your grind there first. You are always number one when it comes to that. Because you were born alone and you're going to leave alone. So just do as much as possible to make yourself happy.
Without really making the next person unhappy, ne? Dr. Stella, your last words.
Okay, mine goes to parents. Let's trust our teens. Let's communicate with them. When we show them love, they will give us love back. So let's trust them. Let's guide them. Let's communicate with them.
Yeah. And also in closing, mine is just to re-emphasize what Lifika said. Learn to love yourself. Be aware of who you are. Be aware of where you want to go as a person, and love yourself, because nobody else can love you even more than yourself. And if you love yourself and you understand yourself better, you are able to even recognize people and activities that actually go against in making you a better person. But thank you very much for joining us. And wow, I hope all the teenagers out there can be as cool as you are. And Dr. Stella, thank you very much for sharing the Chic Clique and the guide code. So parents, I know that communication can be difficult at times. Here are tools that you can use to kickstart that communication if you haven't been communicating with your children. The Chic Clique for girls and the guide code for guys. With that said, thank you very much for joining us today, and let's meet again next week, Wednesday. Good afternoon.